And welcome to another episode of Startups.zone Talk. Today with the CEO of Spendless Group, mom of 3 kids, the youngest business guru in Singapore at age 28, and also this year's Asia's greatest CEO. Welcome, Leza Klenk.
Thank you so much.
Show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time. I know you're quite busy. You have a lot of stuff ongoing, so I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Maybe you can introduce yourself. We know you're from Singapore, but maybe your school journey that you had, and that would be interesting to know first.
Okay, so my name is Leza Klenk. So I am based in Singapore, and I'm the CEO of a tech company, Spendless Group, which also invests in many other sub-companies along the way. I have 3 children, so they're 12, 10, and 8, and I've been in entrepreneurship for a very long time. And the thing is, I started actually from home, from nothing, as a mother. So something that I didn't plan, but eventually took me to CEO level where I am right now. So that's a little bit about me. And in Singapore, I also do a lot of a lot of guest lectures as well. So I go to universities, and I'm often in Malaysia to do lecture in KDU, Dwi Emas International, Spectrum University here. And I also authored a couple of books in business.
Wow, okay. We'll see for the books later. Thank you very much for the intro. Also, I read somewhere that you dropped out of college. Maybe you can quickly go through that, why that happened, or what was the reason for you to not complete college?
Right, so when I was 16 years old, I actually was a straight A student, and I was given a scholarship by the government. But the scholarship actually was very specific, that I had to major in a particular area that they want me to, and sign on to become a teacher. So I rejected the scholarship. So I thought that I'm going to go to college, finish my A-levels, and go to university. But my parents are unable to afford to send me to school at that time. Neither can they pay for my university later. So I end up doing part-time work. So Pedro, I was in school, and Patrick, and after work I go to a bubble tea shop and I sell bubble tea every day from 5 p.m. to 10:30 at night, just to earn $22 a night. So I could go to school, pay for books, get uniform and things like that. But what I didn't realize, that for that small amount of money, I compromised a lot of time of sleep. So I couldn't wake up for lectures. And eventually that year I completely failed my exam and was asked to retain. And I thought that it's the same thing anyway. If I stayed back, I won't be able to continue studying well, because I have to work part-time. So in the end, I gave up studies and left and tried to get a corporate career.
Okay, and then when we continue your journey, we know it was not a very, let's say, lightful beginning. Let's say now you're an extremely successful business owner, entrepreneur, but back in the days, you had one company that went bankrupt. Maybe you can tell us what was the company about, and what really happened at that time.
Right, when I first started business, I actually just wanted to have a very small side income. So I wasn't made for business. So the mindset is just to earn an extra income. So I don't have business acumen, no bachelor degree. I was to stay home for at least 7 years already. So I suddenly come into the field hoping to make money, but don't know how to run it well. So, but in the beginning, was lucky for me, because the business idea I had continued to grow. For some reason, people were buying it. I started supply department store, and I took small investment in 2011. But what I wasn't good at is the exact investments invested. So basically, I built a team of people inside my company. There were about 19 of us, and we operate in Malaysia and Singapore. The investment weren't placed right because the ROI didn't come back. And at the same time as well, I would say that I still need a lot to learn about being a good leader and motivating people. Because of that, some of the projects failed, and it caused us monetary implication, because the business took investment loans instead of equity trade.
Okay.
So that drive to bankruptcy in the year of 2014. So everything I built for 3 years is gone in literally 3 months.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think the down goes more.
The down is faster than the up.
Faster than
funny.
Up, right?
Always the case. It's like taking the stairs, so long up, but so fast down.
Okay. And what did you really learn from it? I mean, there's obviously lessons learned even from getting bankruptcy and then lose everything that you worked for so hard.
I say that the most painful experience in your life is going to teach you the most valuable wisdom you carry. So I find, initially, of course, I blame for the fact that why me, but in the end I realized that all the lessons, after I look back and analyze every mistake I made, every possible change I could have done, anything I could have implemented differently, I realized that I now walk away with this immense knowledge, about how I can actually turn around my business and make it profitable, knowing every single loops that's going to happen, every roadblocks, I can predetermine. So which means I can build safety nets way before it happened again.
Okay.
So during the time I did that, and then I discovered a lot of valuable lessons that I take with me.
I mean, so you're not, of course, not happy or lucky it happened, but it helped you a lot for today's businesses, for sure.
It's true. Well, basically, they say if it doesn't break you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Okay,
True.
so basically, I thought that rather than I'm going to blame myself, I'm going to be depressed or really sad for a long time, I'm sure there's something I could change about it. One of the questions I ask myself is, the fact that you can go bankruptcy, that means you had money to lose. You had once a lot of money and you lost it. That's why you become bankrupt, right? So the question is, if you had the capability to earn that money in the first place, why not you just do it again? Because the skill is still with you.
Okay.
And anything else that you fall short of, let's say you're not good in leadership, you're not as good as investment and anything like that, these are skills you can continue to upgrade yourself in.
Yeah.
So basically, you can only get wiser, smarter, and better.
Yeah.
So the more reason you shouldn't quit business. Why go through all the pain and not get the reward? Okay, I need to now collate everything together, and now I do a better and proper plan to move forward.
Yeah. Go through a pain, but you went at that time through a lot of pain. You told me before you had depression. So how did that come, or how did you figure out? Because sometimes you need to be aware about it also, right? That you're depressed. How could you figure out what was the key points for you to?
I expected that was going to time. I know that this period of time, just imagine you lost everything, okay? You lost the penthouse you live in, you lost the luxurious life, you couldn't even afford food for your children. We were living on $200 a week for 18 months. And the thing that makes us depressed is that we don't know if we'll ever recover. Depression causes because people cannot control. They feel they have zero control of everything that's happening around them, so they don't know where they're going when they wake up every day. And I decided that I need to take control of how my decisions now is going to dictate my future. So during that time, and I wanted to give up so many times, as people would expect. Most people would probably already break at that point because you lost literally everything. Your bank account is seized, you have no standing cash flow, and you have a reputation you need to clean up, plus all the business losses is still coming after you.
Yeah, sure.
So I there's 4 magic words I discovered that actually I comfort myself, which is I think is very powerful. So every time when I feel like I was going to give up at the end of the night, I just tell myself 4 words, just one more day. Because I strongly believe that if it's not in your power to change what has happened today, tomorrow someone else might have that power.
Okay.
And if you don't give tomorrow another chance, then you'll never meet this person who can make a difference.
And for you, it was a person that helped you at that time
It
to
was a
get out?
person.
Yeah?
So for 18 months, all I did was try my best, earn a little bit of job here and there. I did business consultation to earn some money so I can reinvest back into my business. Okay, and I built this Spenless prototype, this Spenless program.
Okay.
So when I built it, everybody told me that you're not going to make it because you already failed, you've lost money.
Okay.
But I told people that there's no way I cannot make it because this time I definitely know what can happen to go bankruptcy. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen. So after 18 months, I even wanted to give up most days because no one believed in me anymore. And I got
you mean your friends, your family?
Yeah, everybody just don't believe you anymore because 18 months, your business is still not making money.
Yeah,
what are you
sure.
still doing in this business? Shouldn't you go get a job and stuff like that? So I had this peer pressure. So I had to cut off a couple of people just to make so that I can stay in the zone.
Yeah.
And then I got a call one day on a Thursday evening, and I got a call from this person. He didn't even tell me his real name on the phone, and he told me that I read your idea somewhere about this beauty e-commerce. I want to ask and find out more about it. And I told him, I don't even know you. This is pretty random, okay? And it's an Indonesian number. And he said, I'm in a car right now with the managing director of Sephora, so we just want to know, maybe, there's something we can do together. So I told him a little bit. Didn't want to tell him everything. I told him a little bit. And he told me, that sounds like a great idea. Can we meet in person?
Okay.
So 4 days later, he was coming to Singapore because he's transiting to Perth. So on a Sunday night, I actually met this person. At that time, I have no money, no capital, a lot of debts, okay, bankruptcy, and no resources.
Wow.
So I'm coming to this person, a stranger. I don't even know his real name. And at that time, I really wanted to tell someone my vision because no one believed in me anymore.
Yeah.
I need to tell one person who might believe in me. So I told him how I envisioned this to be, how it would greatly impact people along the way. And he asked me this question at the end of it. And at the end of it, he told me, if you can value a company, what's your price tag?
Wow. Okay.
And I said, my company is no less than 5 million. Okay, for somebody who's broke, I mean, that's quite a huge number. But I believe in the potential, and I spent 18 months studying the market. So I know it is worth that much. And he told me, all right, I'll buy 10%.
Wow.
So that's how we raised our first $500,000 to
Yes.
recover. And
Okay.
$500,000 is a lot of money.
Yes, yeah, well, especially if you have nothing left,
Exactly.
right?
So it changed the
really
game completely. So we progressed, raised more capital funding, had more investors. So
Okay.
that's where we are now.
So that was the beginning of Spendless Group.
Yes,
With
exactly.
the-
If you give up on your dream, then there'll never come a day when this person could give you that offer
Okay.
anymore, right? So
Okay.
you're very happy that for 18 months, thank God I didn't give up.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
If it's always going to take me here, I mean, if people know that after 18 months of bankruptcy you're going to get $500,000, everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly, because the pain.
Everyone wants to go
Yes,
bankrupt
exactly.
first, right? Okay, but I hope this does not happen again. But now you have really a big group of companies already, and you started with the cosmetics, and then I know you have second-hand baby goods. You do education, marketing, a lot more.
Yes,
Yes.
a lot more different industry. Yes, the reason why we do that is because when you delve deeper in business and you want to stay ahead of your game, you need to be the primary provider to your customer. So a consumer, for example, when we start the beauty e-commerce platform, a lot of women are shopping for cosmetics on our platform. Okay, they become our resellers, they also become our customers, and you ask yourself, how else can I service them? How else? Because they might need something else. So some of them become our resellers. So they resell our merchant products and make money. So what we do is we set up an academy to train them more. So we make them experts in digital marketing because
Okay.
we open academy. So that's why we invested in EdTech. Then we realized that actually more women need this platform, but a lot of people don't understand this model. So we built a baby bargains app. So we win mothers over there when they start listing second-hand products. The same community, we educate them on how they can earn income with Spendless and get trained on academy.
Okay.
So then the
okay, I
merchants
see.
come in and say, wow, Leza, you have a whole distribution. Can you market my products in your network? Yes, we can. So that's why we have an advertising and marketing agency.
one
So we
company-
serve the same
Yeah.
the same chain of people all the time. It's just different services.
Yeah.
But it's easy because the same customer base and you just monetize over and over and
Yeah,
over again.
okay.
And you're their primary
Okay.
provider.
New requirements that you figured out during selling one product,
Yes.
launched like a new product or a new company.
Yes,
a new
exactly.
service.
When there's a demand, you realize people are shopping, say, a lot of skincare products. That would be the right time to invest in a
Yeah.
skincare line because the manufacturing turnover revenue fast
Yeah.
because there's people ready to buy.
Wow, amazing. So now you're in like 17 countries. Is that like still up
Yeah,
to date? or
well,
it's like
Baby Bargains is in 19 and Spendless has 17. Yes.
17 countries, and you have more than 80 people like.
A lot of we have
full-time
partners,
hired.
full timers. We have
Yeah.
freelancers. So all in all, it's probably close to
Okay, that's
100.
great.
And there's 25,000 resellers on the network who's also on our payroll.
Wow, that's also like an amazing KPI. So let's get into your person, and I want to discuss with you some of the terms that I recently heard, or I heard even because of you. I mean, there's a womenpreneur.
Yes.
That was like a term I heard many times before, but then through you I learned that there's a mompreneur, right? So an entrepreneur, which is a mom, right? That's what it is. And then I was wondering, like, why do we need this kind of terms? Why someone need to say, look, I'm a mom, so I'm a mompreneur? What is your point of on this?
Firstly, any women nowadays, women are more bold to start their own business. Okay, and they also hold high corporate positions. So nowadays, any woman who start a business, a woman-led company, right? The founder will eventually be a mother. It's a question of time.
Yeah.
80% of the women will be a mother. They start a business single, eventually become moms. Whenever we transition into this phase, motherhood is a permanent phase. Okay, it's permanent. Once we become a mother, we always will be.
Yeah.
That means we start to have businesses, build connections with this community. So how we can service them, how can we monetize from them, and things like that. The reason why I use the term mompreneur is, firstly, I stand out from all the other womanpreneur businesses because they focus on women. I focus on mothers, and mothers need also a center where they can get services from another mother because they know that I understand them because I'm also a mother.
Okay.
And my businesses are all women mother related. So those stay-home mothers join our network. Those people who sell products on our Baby Bargains app, they're the mothers community. So when I represent myself as one of them, it's easy to win them.
So for you, it was more like a marketing thing. You can sell more or better if
It's
you
true,
give yourself that tag.
But
right?
also we invest in mom-led businesses. So our company, we identify which mother who lets good ideas and businesses and have the capability to grow to the next level.
Okay.
So we support them, we fund them, give them resources, and then we guide them through. So I believe strongly that mothers make very good CEOs. So the question is how you support them and give them the resources. They can actually turn a home-based business like I did into a global tech confirm.
Well, I agree. Like, moms had a lot of stuff to do to handle everything. So yeah, I think they have an advantage because of the experience already.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But we'll see. You think like if someone tags himself dadpreneur, it will be like the same impact, or
I don't want to say, but I doubt so. Mom is always associated with multitasking, okay, because we're at home looking after children, household. So maybe there's a little bit of advantage on mom, but I've seen that title dadpreneurs pop up. So dadpreneurs actually lead communities where dads are trying to start businesses, and it's quite common now as well. Dad stay home and mom goes to work. It happens.
Of course,
So it
sure.
does.
Okay, very nice. I want to talk with you about LinkedIn because you're very active in social media, and people admire you for what you do, and especially for how fast you grow the followers in LinkedIn. I read like within 2 years. You started only 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2017.
Right? Yeah, it's 2017 you start to create your profile, and today you have nearly 60,000 followers.
Yes.
So 60,000 that is. It's like really impressive. And of course everyone asks you, how did you do that? And then I hear always like not only you, like I hear generic answers like it's all about engagement, it's about personal branding. I want to know a little bit more concrete what it really means. I mean, do you remember like your first 10 posts that you put on LinkedIn, what it was about and how that helped you, or did that even help you at all?
The transition of LinkedIn is a big change for me, because actually I never knew what LinkedIn was before 2017. I know Facebook, but I never knew LinkedIn. I was actually writing business articles on Facebook, and it had so little likes, okay, because people on Facebook don't appreciate my write-up. So one of my friends called me and said that your audience is not here anymore. You've developed yourself, that your audience is now on LinkedIn. So I said, what is that? So I went on, and I remember 5th January 2017, I opened up my account and I tried to add some friends just to make it look like I have friends on LinkedIn. And I couldn't even add 10 people because I don't know most people in the enterprise level. So I said, this is going to be hard again to create a name in a pool where people don't even know who you are. So the first, there's 3 things that is very important whenever you showcase anything on LinkedIn or on social media, as a matter of fact, right? It goes into play. You have to consider the kind of audience that you want to keep in your network for a very long time. Okay, and what I did is, number 1, I showcase a lot of my character. The stories that I put out is exactly what happened in my life, as true as it can be. A lot of people limit from telling certain things, but you're sometimes not telling things because you're allowing people to personally attack you, but so people can personally relate to you, because your experience is not unique. Someone else will have gone through the same failure, the same kind of loss, the same kind of journey, and if they could relate to you, the more they get attached to you. You have brought meaning inside their life. Secondly is to speak about your competence. People want to know what you're actually good at, so that tomorrow, after they know your character, the second level is to want to do something with you. So the post should be also about your competence. And thirdly is, of course, over time is your experience. But my actual advice is, people focus too much on social media, but social media is actually half of my personal brand. The other half is I'm always out there. Patrick, you will realize me, I'm always at universities, always talking to people, always networking. And in 1 month, I'm not invited to speak anywhere. I actually set up events myself just so I can speak.
Okay.
The fact that you're physically present elsewhere contributes a lot back to your personal branding, because the people who are in the room, who hears you, who knows you, they walk away remembering who you are, what you know and what you do. And that personal brand is longer effect than online. So when people in the uni, for example, they like what you do, they go back and they tell their friends and they talk to their parents, and eventually it brings more eyeballs to your online network because people want to stay connected. So it's not just about putting content, it's consistent. For me, I make myself busy every day, physically busy, and that will be the stories I continue to tell. And people follow me not because Leza is genius or Leza has all the good contents, but because Leza leads this journey that gives them the vibe that they should also be doing something more than what they're currently doing. So people just like that energy back.
Okay. Well, I still didn't understand how you made the 60,000 followers.
Honestly, I cannot control. I have no idea. For me, I just put out good content and good stories and see how people would like me. But I guess one of the reasons people appreciate it is because people know that you give acknowledgement. One of the things is, I'm a person who always give acknowledgement to people, whether they comment or feedback. Initially, first 5 people feedback, comment, stuff like that, right? And I don't just reply to people's comment. I make the effort to go to their profile, find out what they do, and when I reply the comment, I even ask about them. So how's everything doing? I read your post recently is about the project you're doing. So it's so personalized that the bond is so strong. That's why people will go on and tell other people about you.
Okay.
But it's extra work, but most people are not willing to do it.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So how would you compare like your Facebook with your LinkedIn profile when you said, okay, now your business or your customer should be on, or like the people interested in the business should be on LinkedIn, right? But how does Facebook work? Is it still like
Facebook also 60,000 followers.
Yeah.
Facebook is also a lot of followers.
But it's different audience.
Different audience. So on Facebook we target consumers, influencers, so customers. On LinkedIn we target, of course, partners. We target investors. So different kind of crowd. So the way I put out content is also different. So a lot of people on Facebook do not know another version of me, which is the very business side. Okay, and a lot of people on LinkedIn do not know the funny version of me, because that's what Facebook sees. So sometimes what we reveal of ourselves is depending on who we want to attract. There's no point having 5 platforms with the same crowd of audience. You don't win that way, because it's so much time investment, but you're not getting what you want. So you stay focused. Okay, investors and partners on LinkedIn, the kind of content must be business, must be intellect, must be useful. And the one on Facebook are more like fun, more wacky interaction with influencers, contest giveaways. So it's different.
Wow. Okay. So you do all your social media by yourself, or you have a team of people working for you?
For my corporate brands, I have a team of people, my team. But for personal, yes, it's entirely me. So I write every word of posting article, every picture, editor, everything is me.
Wow.
So my staff is not allowed to touch my IP, because I don't want anybody to sell me for me. You're the best person to sell yourself. So the moment you let someone else do that for you, they're not selling you.
Yeah. Because you know yourself the best.
Exactly.
Right?
And you
that
change all the time.
Yeah.
So 3 months, maybe they know you 3 months ago, but 3 months later you're a different person. You have a different thought. So it's not the same content.
I agree with that. Okay, I mean, we're coming to an end of this interview. I'm very impressed. We see you do so many things here all over. Maybe you can give some hints, like how you put everything under one head, like being a mom, being like a CEO of so many companies, doing the social media, of course, your personal branding, the events that you do, the events that you attend. How you really manage your time smartly and efficiently?
All right, 2 things. Number 1, when I say the word outsource, okay, that doesn't mean that you go around delegating all your jobs to other people. Now, the job, as you climb high, if you want to grow a bigger company, your role gets heavier and your responsibility gets tougher. But and you cannot do everything. You must understand that no matter what, you're not a superwoman. Okay, there's no way you can do everything. So what you need to do is identify the crucial roles. For example, managing relationship with stakeholders and stockholders. These are important. The CEO have to invest time in. But other things that you don't really need to worry about, designing of a poster, calling a venue for an event, these are the things you need to outsource. So if you want to do more, outsource what you can risk giving, but what you cannot risk giving, relationship with investors, doing the pitching, talking to your lawyers, these are the things you continue to do as your CEO. So once you segregate that, you are able to focus on the big things. Why? Because the big things make money. Less time involved, but you get investment, so your company cash flow is always up. While the other small things, you're not giving time to it. So your best time is only given for the best returns.
Okay.
So that's one of the tips. Secondly, everything that you do, any project, any task and everything, right? Actually, a human is capable of doing so many things. The only thing that allows you to do that is structure. Structure and processes are so important. If there's a way, if I'm at home, when I was a mother, right? So when we organize our kids' clothes, right? We fold 1,000 times that we fold so perfectly, right? Because over time, we create a structure of how a clothes is to be folded, where the clothes is to be organized, so the kids can find where they want to find. These are called structure. It starts at home. So when I'm at work and I want to launch a certain project by a certain timeline, in 3 months, I need this executed and go to market. So therefore, there's a structure that I've really laid out. So I have this habit that whenever I create a position in my company, I sit in position for 2 weeks myself, so I can set up the first line of SOP. Then I pass it on. So whether it's graphic designer, whether it's anything, I actually do the job for 2 weeks and then I recruit. So when the person come in, there's no waiting time for the person to prepare a structure. No, this is the structure. I've done it as a CEO. I've done it fast. Now you follow. If you want to tweak, you let me know. We'll make it better. But we already have a good one to start. So then things get done faster. So the project ends. This project makes money. Move on to another 15 projects and stuff like that. So over time, you also build people you trust. So you put heads in this kind of project.
They can take more work.
Exactly. But you also have to accept that sometimes out of 10 projects, 3 is going to fail, but at least 7 will run.
Okay. Very nice.
So accept disappointment. moment, you know, take the lessons with you. You know, you either win or you learn. That's no
Yes,
losing.
correct. I like that
So
one.
if you think that you're going to win every day, it's not possible. But it's also not a good thing if you win every day in everything, because you're not learning then. Your position becomes stagnant. It's too easy. So that's the thing about me. When I think that my position is too easy and I'm waking up and I'm not learning anything, I'm not talking about anything, there's no challenges for me to embrace, I'm going to purposely be a troublemaker and put a challenge in my path. And then we all have to work out how we're going to solve it.
Okay.
So that's how we continue to progress and become more developed.
Nice. Okay, amazing. I feel the energy, I feel the vibe is really amazing. Thank you very much again that you found the time to talk to us, Leza. And thank you very much to you for watching. Hope you stay with us also next week. Another interesting guest and interesting video. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.